Now, the other piece that I want to talk about when it comes to nutrient density is a specific pair of nutrients that you probably have heard about. So these specific nutrients that I want to talk about are omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Now, if we were to look at our hunter-gatherer ancestors and look at the food that they ate, what we would find is that they typically had either a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 ratio between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. And so what are these omega-6 fatty acids and omega-3 fatty acids, and what does that have to do with inflammation? And why do we care what the ratio is? So what fatty acids are is a part of a fat molecule. And it's a part of a fat molecule that we can break down and use for energy, but it's also a part of a fat molecule that when we need to use it for this, we can. And this other function is we can use fatty acids for localized specific functions that help us to operate the immune system and help us to carry out tissue repair. So they're very important as far as those things go. So in general, omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory, and omega-6 fatty acids are pro-inflammatory, with some exceptions, but the omega-6 fatty acids that are by far easiest to come by, easiest to find in food, are all the pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. So what's the significance of the ratio between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids? So if we look at the ratio that our hunter-gatherer ancestors had, they had a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 ratio. So that means for every molecule that they had in their body that could turn off inflammation, they had 1 or 2 molecules in the body that could help to create inflammation. And inflammation is okay. We need to have inflammation. Say we're out hunting and gathering and we step funny and sprain our ankle. Well, we need to create some inflammation to facilitate the tissue repair that needs to happen in that ankle. And so that's okay to have that localized temporary inflammation. And so we'd have the ability to create inflammation, and when the healing is done, then we can turn off that inflammation again, so we're not maintaining that inflammation for a long time. So we need to be able to have inflammation, we need to be able to operate the immune system and to do tissue repair, so that's fine. But the question is, what is our modern day ratio between our omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids? So our ancestors may have had a ratio of 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. Typically, most Americans today have a ratio of 1-to-10 or 1-to-20, somewhere in that range. So for every molecule that we have that can turn off inflammation, we have 10 to 20 molecules that can create inflammation. So you can see that it's a lot easier for us to create inflammation than it is to turn it off if we have a ratio like that. So that can be problematic. And so what we want to do when we're in talking about nutrient density is we're going to want to increase our omega-3 fatty acids so we can get back to having a ratio that's closer to that 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio that humans do very well with. So then the question is, where do we get omega-3 fatty acids? Where do we get omega-6 fatty acids? Omega-3 fatty acids tend to come, the easiest way to get them is through cold water fish. So salmon, cod, halibut, these fish that live in cold water, their fats that they make to run their body tend to be omega-3 fatty acids. Those are our best sources. We also get omega-3 fatty acids from wild game and from grass-fed or free-range or grass-fed beef or chickens or turkeys or whatever that are raised naturally and not fed grains. So why do animals that are fed grains not have as high an amount of omega-3 fatty acids? Well, remember, so say we're feeding a cow corn. Remember what corn is, right? Corn is a grain. Grains have starches. Starches quickly turn to sugars. So we're basically feeding this cow sugar. And we know what sugar does in the bloodstream. It creates inflammation. So if that cow needs to create inflammation in her blood vessels in response to the sugar that's there, her liver is going to say, oh my goodness, we better make the molecules that help us to create inflammation. So let's make omega-6 fatty acids so we can make inflammation happen, because there's all this sugar and we need to have some inflammation so we can heal these tissues. So a cow that's fed grain is going to make more omega-6 fatty acids versus a cow that is fed grass, who does not have inflammation or the need to create inflammation in her blood vessels, that cow's liver does not need to make as many omega-6 fatty acids, and so we're going to see a greater number of omega-3s from grass-fed or free-range cattle. And same scenario with wild game. So omega-6 fatty acids are easy to come by. They're in everything, and that's why our ratios are so off. Omega-6 fatty acids basically are found in vegetable oils, so that's partly why in the beginning we cut out canola oil, we cut out safflower oil, sunflower oil, all of those, because they're very high in omega-6 fatty acids. So by cutting out those oils, we're going to help to even out the ratio that we want to have between our omega-3s and our omega-6s. The other places that we find omega-6s are in nuts and seeds and nut butters, and then also in meats. So, you know, even if it's grass-fed, it's still going to have a lot of omega-6s and more omega-6s than omega-3s. So part of what we want to do this week is think about evening out that balance between omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids.